All right, so I've actually taken a look at these trilobites a little bit before I decided to make the video of them this time around. And it seems to me that they really have two functions effectively here. We have accelerate, which doesn't actually change, right? It has this kind of complex formula that is all green all the way, meaning that it just goes forward. So to me, it seems like wasted hidden nodes. Here is the first function that really makes a difference with Trilos, and it is turn left at Bibit closeness and avoid the Bibites. This also goes into herding a little bit, which is just kind of off. They don't want to be anywhere near anything else, right? Other than that, find plants. And then everything else here just kind of is on. There's no actual function to turn off, like want to eat or digestion or even grab. There's just they're just nodes that are there that don't do anything. And here is the other function that actually seems to do something. And what this boils down to is want to grow. Trilos only want to grow when their energy is full. So let's find a Trilo that has nothing. See, energy's not going up. Want to grow is completely off, and I'm going to feed this guy a singular plant. And watch his energy here now. %, and at 75%, it starts getting bigger. So we have two functions that actually do something: rotate and want to grow. And it seems very, very, very well boiled down to that one thing. Now, these guys absolutely do not survive in this soup. I spawned in 100, and there's just been a slow, steady decline. I haven't really watched their avoidant behavior yet, so I will find a prog. That's a prog. And I'm actually just going to spawn one in here. And see what he does. Yeah. So that's the most motion that I've seen out of one of these things, aside from a plant, is just turn around and go the other way. So they're a lot simpler than this mess of neurons would lead one to believe. Now, that being said, there is a lot of room in here for neurons to specialize, right? We have fairly complex connections that could become something. They just aren't right now. And it looks like they may have been something in the past. It's just getting there. We don't really have any kind of digestion function, right? It's always just on. So they don't really preserve energy beyond this want to grow. And I'm actually kind of curious to see what happens when we run out of energy. Does it just turn off at 75%? So 75% right now is going to be about 150, and it's already off. See, it is no longer growing. Yeah, that's Trilos right now. They're kind of a medium sized. But they're lacking a lot of the complex functions that would allow them to really survive in an environment with other things going on. Like they have to compete against prog whales, and I haven't actually dug into the prog whales functions right now, but I do know that they have the same kind of basis for growth, right, where it's plugged into grabbing. They don't grow unless they're grabbing something. It's not energy based whatsoever, which is kind of one of my favorite ways of dealing with growth and energy preservation. I think they could be good fodder. They don't have a competitive edge against other herbivores whatsoever. So that the problem there is all of their behavior is avoidant, right? And if they're only being in a simulation where everything acts the same way, they're going to have plenty of space because they're just going to avoid each other. Prog whales don't avoid each other. See, they're sharing plants. And they will absolutely bite each other and fight each other off of plants in order to survive. So to really improve the trilobites here, I would recommend putting them in with another herbivore so that they actually have to compete against them. Unfortunately, I don't really have a lot else to say about these guys right now. So I'm just going to cut it here.